What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. It is Shelly Nicole with the Remedy Podcast. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody had a great week. Hope everybody had a calm and eventful week, or weekend. A week too, shoot. The week flew by. I cannot believe we're at the end of March already. Spring has finally arrived, thank God. I am so over the winter. I am not a winter person. I do not like it. But spring is here. Shout out to all the Aries, the Aries babies out there. The start of the spring season starts with some of the good, well, let me not say good, but the Aries, y'all. But, yeah, so I did a live on... When did I do my live? I did my live Wednesday. And it was not as many people on it, but still a good, decent amount of people who gave their opinions about today's topic. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank right now. So the topic for tonight, I said today, but the topic for tonight is happiness versus family. Are you choosing your happiness over your family? Now, when I say this, I don't necessarily mean it has to be like you're married or you have kids. It can literally mean you and your boyfriend, you and your girlfriend, you and your husband or wife, no kids yet. It doesn't necessarily have to mean children involved. But even if it is, even if you do have kids, that's also fine too. Are you going to choose your happiness, your peace, your nervous system being at a calmer level than sticking it out with somebody in any situation that you are not happy, where you feel unwanted, unloved, unappreciated? You feel like what you do is being taken for granted. Now, personally, for me, I'm a skate. I'm a go. I'm not sticking anywhere where I don't feel like I'm being appreciated or if I feel like my happiness is being compromised. I have done that in the past where I stayed in relationships or even friendships that didn't suit me well. And I had to find it within myself to say, you know what, I'm going to head out because this isn't doing me any good. Especially if you've had like a conversation with them, especially if you told them like what's triggering you and what's bothering you, and yet they still continue to do the same shit over and over again. It's like, okay, so clearly you don't care. Clearly we're not coming of the meeting of the minds right now. So I'm going to have to leave because you have one agenda and I have another one, and it's clearly not adding up and we're clearly not seeing eye to eye. I will choose me before I choose anybody else. And I know some people will probably say like, oh, that's so selfish. Like, you know, it sounds, and it I guess it kind of does sound selfish, but it depends on the situation. It depends on the scenario. So some of the scenarios that I gave on live on Wednesday, shout out to everybody who participated and spoke up on the live and interacted in the comments. But one of the scenarios that I gave was cheating, and mainly cheating because that's like one of the number one reasons why a lot of relationships fail is because of infidelity or because of cheating. Why someone will leave a relationship, a marriage, is because their spouse cheated on them. I basically said that if you are married or in a relationship with someone and they cheat on you, are you going to stick around knowing that this person has cheated on you multiple times, knowing that this person continuously keeps cheating on you, knowing that even if they just did it one time, there was one time too many for you, but you're going to stick it out? Although you're going to look at them differently, although you're not going to see them in the same light, are you going to stick it out because you feel like, well, my marriage, my vows said this through thick and thin, rich or poor, sickness and health, and the thick and thin is this situation that we're in right now? Or are you going to say, you know what, maybe we need to do some counseling, maybe we need to talk to someone to figure out what the problem is and how did we get to this point? Or are you just really going to get up and go and just be like, you know what, I'm not doing this at all? And I feel like maybe in a marriage, it may be a little bit harder because, you know, it's a lot of things that come with a marriage. I mean, granted, it is a union under God, of course. Some people look at it as just a piece of paper and it's nothing more than that. But you do have people who divide or come together and join their assets or join what they have together with one another. And, getting a divorce means splitting all of that. And it can get real sticky and real ugly. I think, even just talking about, as I'm talking about this, I remember seeing last week a lot of stuff about Teyana Taylor and Iman Shumpert and how, she tried to do the mitigation. She tried to, come to a meeting of the minds instead of having to go to court and have it all resolved in there. And this is what she said on her live. And then she, came on her live, but I think she made a comment about it too. But she came on her live basically addressing the situation and addressing the comments. And she walked away with hers. He walked away with his. And I think at the end of the day, again, not knowing their personal issues or their personal problems, because we really don't know. And Teyana has always kept it very private as far as, and I think Iman mostly did too. I don't follow Iman. I follow Teyana. But they've kept their relationship pretty much private. Like, what they wanted you to see is what they'll show you. Otherwise, you don't know nothing about what's going on. But at the end of the day, it kind of seemed as though, from what I could see and for what she allowed us to see, that she had to choose her over whatever it is Iman was doing. I think there was like some rumors of him cheating, some rumors of him just, not being supportive to her, not holding her down as much as she was holding him down, and not just necessarily financially. Like, let's get that out of the situation, right? Like, yes, she was making more money than him. Yes, she was doing a lot more because, he hadn't been playing basketball, and she had a lot of things going on for her, and she had a lot of business deals, and I think she did like productions too, right? She did a lot of stuff with movies and TV shows. So she was really putting herself out there and getting the money in. But outside of the financial part, it seemed as though, from what she was saying, that the support from him wasn't really there either. And kind of like he checked out. And then she checked out. And then they went their, separate ways with what they had. At the end of the day, I do feel like you can get to that point in a marriage where you can still love each other, but you're better off separated than being together and showing your children toxicity and showing them constant fighting and a mother and father not loving each other the way that they're supposed to. Because someone had comments about that on Wednesday in the live, basically saying that it was easier to walk away when you're just in a relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, rather than in a marriage. And how you should just work it out no matter what happens. You should stick it out and stick it through when you're in a marriage. But again, that comes with you now showing your children toxicity. You and your partner are constantly arguing nonstop about, more than likely, it's about bullshit or something that can honestly be resolved with some counseling or mediation, or even talking to a friend, or talking to somebody else who can come in the middle and be like, okay, well, listen, if you do this or you do that or stop doing this, vice versa, then everything could, pan out and you can level each other out. But a lot of the times, a lot of couples don't do that. Some of them don't even talk. Some of them go their separate ways. They live together, but it's like having roommates almost. Like, there are some relationships that I even know of that are just like, are you sure y'all together? Like, you for real? Like, y'all together? Like, just of the dynamic of how things go. And granted, I know it's not always going to be sunshine and rainbows all the time. Like, let's be for real. Let's grow up. We know that. But I feel like there has to be an understanding that if you've given it your all, and you've tried everything, and you've tried the communicating, and you've tried the counseling, and you've tried bringing the spark back or doing whatever it was that caught your attention to the person from the beginning, I think it's best for both parties to go your separate ways. So the question then can become, why stay where you are miserable, right? Is it out of comfort? Is it that you're scared to start over, not wanting to start over? I know that also could be the situation why people stay rather than picking their happiness and moving forward and finding someone new, a possibly healthier relationship. I've even said it myself. Like, I think like my last relationship, I was like, you know what, I'm not going to do this again. Like, if this doesn't work out, then you know what, I'm good. Like, I don't care. But I feel like, and mainly because I didn't want to start over. I didn't want to do the whole, what do you like to eat? What's your favorite color? Where do you like to go? What's your shoe size? What do you like to do this? Do you like to, like, it's just constantly getting to know someone over and over, different person over and over. It's just like, it's annoying. It's a headache. But I quickly came out of that because I knew that this is something that I wanted. I do, want to get married. I do want to have kids, and I do want to be in a loving relationship. So I had to get that thought out of my head. And I feel like a lot of people are refraining from dating now, especially dating now, because, well, we don't really have much to choose from, but also the fact that nobody really wants to start over. The whole thought and mindset of having to get to know somebody from the bottom is exhausting. So a lot of people will just stay where they are if they're in a relationship, or they'll spin the block back. Where I made an episode, I think it was like a few months ago, where I talked about spinning the block and why it can be a good thing. I mean, if we think about it, you look at Ashanti and Nelly, like they spun the block on each other, and she's married and they have a kid together, and possibly working on the second one. I don't know. But you see how spinning the block, I think they broke up after 12 years or something like that. After spinning the block after 12 years, it worked out because he wanted her back, and she was open to like, okay, well, what are you going to do to show me? But nonetheless, I think that's why people end up staying where they are or spinning the block, because they just don't want to start over to get to know somebody new. And then I think it's just also the sheer disappointment that we all feel. Like, we're tired of being disappointed. We're tired of feeling like we give everything our all and then nothing comes out of it. And I'm not just talking about women. I'm talking about men too, who have that same mentality. I'm not talking about men who, don't really use their head and really think everything is about them. I'm not talking about you weird head ass men. I'm talking about like the men who genuinely want to be loved, the men who genuinely give love the same way that they want to receive it, not the men who want to be poured into but can't pour into another cup. Not you. Y'all need to change your water, because your water is terrible. I'm talking to like the men who have, like I just said, like the ones who pour into each other or pour into another cup, and a woman who they really are interested in and not wasting her damn time. That too. But I do feel like your happiness can also come from and just taking relationships out of it, right? Your happiness can come from just being by yourself and getting to know who you are all over again. That can definitely help boost your happiness and boost your confidence, but also boost your boundaries. And look at how you want to go about, if you choose to, go about dating again later on, right? If you were accepting things in your past relationship that you no longer want to accept in a new one, you'll learn that. You'll learn from your past. You'll learn from your mistakes. You'll learn from the situation that you stayed in, no matter if it was 6 months, 2 years, 5 years, whatever. You're going to learn from it, and you're going to apply it to the new relationship that you're in. And personalizing your growth and prioritizing your own mental health and your emotional well-being over, the traditional let's stay together to work this out no matter what, I think is also something that is very critical that people also have to do. I'm a testimony to that, I guess, in doing that and being okay in your solitude. You have to be okay in your solitude and being by yourself, because if you're not, and if you can't find out what makes you you and creating a lifestyle for yourself, no matter what it is, whether it's working out, whether it's doing pottery, whether it's making music, it could literally be anything. Like, it's just something that you love to do that makes you you, and finding out what it is, because you really don't know, especially if you center your life around a relationship. Like, don't get me wrong, as much as I want to get married, as much as I want to have kids, I have learned to decenter a relationship from my life. You know what I mean? Because it's like, yes, you want it, of course. Yes, you hope it comes to you. But at the end of the day, you can't just make it everything about that. You have to know who you are. You have to know, what is it that I like? How do I get myself from this point to this point? And not to say you have to put a specific timing on it. It's just to know that I'm making myself better by doing these things. Changing your nutrition, because I'm really big on health. Like now I'm very, very big on my working out and my regimen and getting myself into this new body that I am creating in my head about how I want to look. I used to work out a lot a while back, not too far back. Let me not make it seem like it was that far back, but it was before COVID. I was working out heavy. Like I'm talking 5 days a week in the gym for 2 hours, and in the gym for 2 hours because I was really taking my time and just enjoying the process. And I was probably in one of like the best shapes ever. And then I stopped, and then, COVID happened, and then I didn't get back into it. But now we're back at it. Now it's like a constant thing, a part of my life now. And it shaped me, not just physically, but mentally as well. It helps with your mental when you do work out. It's not just your body. You let go of so many things. You release all of these endorphins. It's just so many things that help when it comes to working out and finding yourself. Just even if that means like you like reading books. If you want to pick up that hobby of reading a bunch of books, I read more books than I've ever read back in school, when my mother was like, if you pick up a book and read something. Even when remember when school used to give you like summer reading? I used to hate that shit. Like, why are you giving me books to read in the summertime? I'm trying to enjoy myself. But now I read a lot. It's really to just stimulate my mind. It's really to like learn something. And I'll mark up a lot of my teaching books are all marked up. Sidebar. But nonetheless, it's just picking up something that resonates with you. It literally can be anything. Whether you like to cook, if you're like a cooker, getting meal preps going, probably selling plates. You could do that too, right? If you like to do hair, do that. If you like to, what is it called? I lost it. It was right there on my head. But just basically finding something that makes you and figuring out what it is. Because maybe you may not know, but you find different things by doing different things. Going to museums, making a candle. Like I said, maybe you like pottery. That's still a thing. Maybe you like to draw, maybe you like to color. I don't know. But finding something that makes you. Again, outside of a relationship. Prioritizing yourself will cause you to say, you know what, I need to leave this relationship. I need to leave this situation. I need to either get a divorce. I need to either just step out because this is ruining me and it's ruining my image, and I cannot find myself, I cannot find myself. Some people feel so suffocated in relationships that they cannot find themselves because everything revolves around this one person. And again, taking them out of the center of your life and putting God in the center of it, if we really want to talk about it, and letting him handle it all. Because God's going to tell you whether you need to get up and go or you should stick it out. And he's going to be loud about it too. I'm just saying. Another reason why somebody would honestly choose happiness over family is the toxicity becomes too much. That you're not feeling supported, like I told you, in the beginning, being talked at rather than talked to. That's a big thing that I feel like a lot of people don't realize that they do. You talk at someone. No one's going to respond to you in the way that you want them to respond to you if you're talking at somebody. A lot of people need to watch how they speak. A lot of the times, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And I know so many people have heard that, but it's so true. It is so true. Because you can literally mean the best thing. You can mean the best for everyone. But if it comes out so nasty and so negative, you've lost everyone. Now nobody wants to talk to you. And if you have that mindset of, well, I don't care, this is me, this is it, then you're always going to be in this predicament where no one's going to ever want to hear you. And you cannot expect anybody to want to listen to you or want to be around you or to have you as a friend, have you as a lover. If you are not willing to take that down a whole bunch of notches and understand that your response is what's causing people to just detach from you, and owning up to that. But like I said, being talked at rather than being talked to, whether you're being judged, manipulated, gaslit, abused of any sort, that can also be a toxic reason as to why someone will choose happiness over their family. Toxicity, I don't care what this generation has made it seem like, what they're trying to say today. Toxicity is not cute. Being toxic in a relationship is not cute. It's not goals. It's not what you want to be. No. Why do you want someone to mess with your nervous system and have you crashing out? Why do you want someone to sit here and talk to you so disrespectfully and be like, oh my God, I love when you do that? Why? And they're not even playing. They're dead ass with you. Like, they're being dead serious, and you think this shit is funny and you think this shit is cute. No, because that then turns into their hands being put on you. That then turns into them doing it in private, so now they're going to do it in public. And you're accepting it this whole time. So when it really happens, outside of it just being you two, now you feel embarrassed. Like, oh my God, how can I, like, why would you do that? You didn't care for me to not do it when it was just us. So why you care now that I'm doing it in front of everybody? Go sit your ass down. The toxic shit is, nope, not one for it. Feeling like you're suffocating, self-preservation. Your emotional well-being and your mental health is at risk. Like I said, if you feel like you're drowning in this relationship, if you feel like you're walking on eggshells, let me tell you something. Nothing is worse than being around a friend or being around a lover, relation, spouse, whatever, or even family. We don't even have to, let's not put them out either. Being around any of those three categories of people, and you're walking on eggshells, like you can't say anything. Because if they do, or if you do, emotionally you're going to be attacked. Mentally, they're going to fuck with you. Mentally, they're going to say something to trigger you and to make you feel a way about what it is you're saying to them, when literally all you could honestly be saying to them is something that is beneficial, or something that they may be feeling for themselves that they're just, expressing to you. If you cannot speak up for what you don't like, what you want to change, without it even getting into an argument, and you can mentally feel yourself like just deteriorating, you gotta go. I know people who are in relationships that don't say anything to their partner. Like, if they get into an argument, they'll just sit here and say, okay, and allow whatever to manifest and to fester, because they want to avoid conflict. If you cannot sit here and just talk to me the way that I'm talking to y'all right now through this mic, and we can speak about whatever the problem is, and we can both come to an understanding, that's adulting. That's maturity. That's being able to speak to a friend, speak to a lover, speak to a family member without them getting in their fucking drawers about what it is you're saying, and just taking it like a big boy or like a big girl and be like, you know what? Okay, let me think about what you're saying. You might actually be right. Let me check myself first before I come and jump off the Richter scale. You know what I mean? Like, if you feel as if you are literally not able to be you authentically in any aspect, you gotta go. Because that's no way to live at all. Another reason why somebody would choose happiness over themselves is the finances. Let's be for real. Today, everything costs a whole lot of. And you cannot afford to be with someone who is not making any money. Now, understand when I say this, things happen. Life happens. People lose their job. People get laid off. companies, like I said, the laying off thing, they want to downsize. It happens. Life happens. But if there is no drive to get to the next step, if there is no ambition to like, okay, so how am I going to make some money because I have a family to take care of, or I have a girlfriend who I want to make my wife, or I have a goal set in mind. As a woman, you have a goal set in mind that you want to achieve this, you want to achieve that. You also want to contribute to the household. You also want to give financially to your household. You also want to spoil your man too. You don't want to just, not be spoiled by him as well, right? Or not spoiled him as well. That's what I mean. If there's no ambition and no drive to get to a better place, even if that means going to school to change your whole career, to change your whole life, you got to go. Because finances I think finance is probably the second thing outside of cheating that causes a lot of people to break up. Because someone isn't making enough money, or there's no long-term stability. They don't have like a 5-year plan. They don't have a 3-year plan. That's a good question to ask too when you start on a date. Like, where do you see yourself in 3 years? Like, what do you want to do in 3 years? And are you making the strides to do it now? Not saying that it may not happen in 3 years. It may happen in 4. It may happen in 5. It may happen in 10. But if you have that ambition to get it going, that's one thing. Financially, the way this world is, you do need a income for both. For both people. Unless, your man is big dog and he making what he making with his, whether it's his business or his job, his career, or maybe he has a career and a business, whatever it is. And for men too, there are some men who are okay with being stay-at-home husbands, stay-at-home boyfriends, and there are girls who are okay with being the breadwinner, the super breadwinner, and she has her businesses going and she's bringing in the money. But if there is nothing coming in and you don't see them, and especially if they're blowing their money on stupid shit, that would irritate the hell out of me. Bills have to be paid, and here you are buying another pair of Jordans that just been released, and the shit is $235. And then next month another pair is being released, and here you are buying it again. Okay, so now you're playing in my face because this bill is due, and yet you're not paying for it? Okay. Alrighty. Like, be for real. Grow up and be for real and know that certain things have to be taken care of. And one of the last things that I think causes a lot of people to choose themselves over their family or their partner is that the romance stops. Let's be for real. It's a part of it. If we're being honest here, it is a part of it. Sex is a part of, and not just sex, the kissing, the intimacy, the affection, the continuing to date your partner. I said that on the live too, that a family friend, his grandmother said that to me years ago, that her husband to this day still dates her. And they've been married, I think like 15, 20, I think maybe 15, 20 years, maybe longer than that. I don't know. But he continued to date her even after they became boyfriend and girlfriend. After they got engaged. Even now in their marriage, he still continues to date her. You cannot forget to continue to date your partner. Just because you get them does not mean you stop doing everything that you was doing before to get them. No. Just because you have them does not mean you stop. You keep going. You keep figuring it out. Because you're going to keep learning about them. You're going to keep finding out things about them that you like, things about them that they may like. Their interests may change. So you have to adjust. And that's on both sides. That's not just men dating their women, but women also us dating our men, giving them things that they may need, hearing what they're saying. If the man's been telling you this whole time, my damn watch is broke, I need to get this shit fixed, I don't know when I'm gonna get it. I'm talking about just something, and I'm just making this as an example. I gotta get this damn battery for my watch, or this thing is not working, and this is my favorite watch, When he's not home, take that watch to get fixed. He's been talking about he wants a chain. No big, super Flavor Flav chain, but he wants a chain. He's been saying that how he wants to up his wardrobe maybe. He wants to make it a little bit more grown. Maybe he may need some help with that. You doing that for him, buying a few pieces. Like, okay, babe, I think this will look good on you. Or even if you take him shopping and be like, okay, so we're gonna find some pieces for you because I heard you said you wanted your wardrobe to become a little bit more grown. There's nothing wrong with the both of y'all dating each other. Y'all have to continue to do that. Yes, the men are going to do it more because the men are the pursuers. You can argue with me, argue with your mama. I don't care. I personally feel like the men are the pursuers. You're going to pursue me. So you're going to show me why I need to be with you. Why I should stick around and stay with you. How are you providing for me? Not just financially, but emotionally and mentally and physically, spiritually. But I do feel like the romance in a lot of relationships fail and it stops. Like, there's no more, like I said, without taking out the sex part, but now bringing in the sex part. What is it? Y'all haven't had sex in a month? Why? What's going on? Oh, we're busy. I'm tired. You're not that tired, because if you could lay down and look and scroll through your phone for 2 hours, you're not that tired. Think of it as if you didn't go to the gym, now you're going to work out. Boom. Made it very simple for you. Now you done did your cardio, you enjoyed yourself, you had a good time. There you have it. You enjoyed yourself. And make it fun. Make it fun. Do some petals on the floor. Decorate the room. Decorate the house. It don't even necessarily have to be a hotel. You could decorate the bedroom. You could decorate the house itself. Get someone to do it. Shit, y'all could call me. I'll do it. I've done it before with one of my friends with her, it was her ex-boyfriend. I decorated a hotel for her. She got the hotel. They went out to dinner. I went upstairs. I decorated the entire hotel. I'll do that for you. I'll decorate the hotel for you. Hit my line. I will do it for you. I will decorate your home for you to keep it cute, to keep it nice. I will do all of that. Buy something to wear in the bedroom. Wear something spicy around the house. Even if y'all not having sex, wear something cute around the house. Keep it cute. Keep it fun. And if you can't get the romance, and I'm telling you, and I'm not saying this is okay, I'm not saying this all right, I'm not saying this at all. But a lot of the times, if you can't get the romance in the house, a lot of people are going to step out and they're going to find it elsewhere. And then you're going to sit there looking, well, why would you do that? And well, shit, y'all haven't had sex in 5 months. You haven't had sex in 8 months. You haven't kissed me. You barely touched me. So what are you talking about? Now, again, I would personally leave before I cheat because I don't do the cheating. But I know that there are people who feel like it's not worth me leaving. So I'm just going to go and sneak around and do what I got to do and then come home. I know people who are like that. And, whatever floats your boat, sinks your ship, that's on you. But I'm just saying, a lot of the times people will leave because romance has stopped. You cannot stop the romance in a relationship. But that is the end of the episode, guys. I want to thank you guys for listening tonight. And if you're going through this, if you have to choose happiness over sticking it out with someone who is clearly not doing it for you, listen, choose yourself, bro. Choose yourself. Life is too short. We are seeing how fast time is flying by. I'm not saying don't work it out. I'm saying that if after you've worked it out, if after you've exhausted all possible remedies, like how I put that in there, right? Remedies. If you exhausted everything to see if it could work, if it could be fixed, and there's nothing that can fix it, then you have to choose you. You have to choose your happiness over being there for someone else who isn't making you happy. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to die miserable. You don't want to sit here and look back at your life and be like, if I would have left, if I would have done this, if I would have done that differently. You don't want to do that. I mean, granted, we all live with regret. We all live with what we wish we would have done. But if you can change it, change it. But I love you guys for listening. I hope you guys have a great night. Leave whatever happened into today. Do not bring that shit into tomorrow.